And introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 66 kilograms and trains under Ben Vickers out of Scrappy MMA and the Costa Academy. Fighting out of Perth, Western Australia, with a professional record of 7 wins for just 3 defeats, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the challenger and the reigning Eternal Bantamweight Champion, Rod Costa! And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 65.9 kilograms and trains at a freestyle fighting gym under Joe Lopez, fighting out of Wyndong, Australia, with a professional record of 11 wins for 5 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, the defending, eternal featherweight champion, Justin Van Heerden! And when our action begins, our referee in charge, Matt Wynn.
At all times, obey my instructions at all times. Touch gloves you want to.
Final instructions there from our referee, Matt Wynn. He's in charge of our main events. And again, there's a few boos for Justin Van Heerden, but he doesn't care. He loves the atmosphere here, loves fighting.
Yeah,
like this.
I think the big thing here is who's going to come out hard. We saw Rod in the first fight tag him with his very, very heavy hands.
And there's a left hook.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Justin and his team approach this. Are they going to sit behind that jab? You can see he's already switching the stances a lot.
This matchup presented by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey.
And we know Rod is not scared at all of being on his back, but he's got very, very dangerous
saw him
hands.
get hit against Sean Etchell last year, so he can get hit and take a punch. So.
Yeah, he's got a very good set of hands, power-wise, and a granite chin, and is not afraid of damage. And he's going to need to get on the inside to land, so he might have to take 1 or 2 shots, which he's not afraid of.
Oh, nice work there by Van Heerden.
I'm very interested to see when and if Van Heerden does look to push against the cage and put that suffocating style we've seen so much of into play. But right now he's mixing it up and just, I think, feeling it out. And that front kick, which we saw in the first fight, is again there to keep the distance.
And our process early on in our main event schedule, 5 by 5-minute rounds.
And we know both. We've seen them both. They've both got the cardio to do it. Rod did it with Jack Jenkins. And Justin, we know, is known for his cardio.
Exactly. Again, we mentioned in the lead-up, a lot of his fights have gone the distance, 5 of them, in fact.
But it's very interesting to see Justin's relying a lot more on movement now and feeling like he knows the power that Rod's had is in his hands. I'd really like to see Justin start incorporating a lot more kicks like we saw in the Jenkins fight. Because Rod, again, he's addressed it after the Jenkins fight, but that was the downfall in that fight.
Exactly. And notice that Van Heerden's changing stances a fair bit.
Very much. And I think he's showing a lot of respect to Rod's power in his hands. And it's going to be a very interesting fact of the fight when we do see some grappling, how Justin reacts to feeling what Costa's strengths are on the ground.
Nice kick there by Costa, followed up in return with the receipt by Van Heerden.
But so far, it's very similar to the first fight. So we're definitely not seeing Justin looking to grapple, because we know where Rod's very, very strong strengths lie.
That's his strength.
He's
just improved on the feet since he's gone to Scrappy MMA. As you said, correct. He needed to learn how to strike, and he's done that. Very nice punches there by Van Heerden.
And I think that's what Van Heerden needs to do here is stay behind the jab and then throw 3s, 4s, and combos. Whereas if he just throws 1 shots like he did in the first fight, he can get tagged.
It's a punch there thrown by Van Heerden, but very good head movement by Costa.
And that's what Rod's great at, where you think he might be absorbing shots. He's really very much, I think he's picked that up from Jack Della, how he just rolls with the shots.
Both guys got very good training partners, haven't they?
Yes, very much. Arguably 2 of the top teams in Australia, and then 2 of their standout representatives here putting on a show for us.
In the main event. Just nice punches there by Van Heerden.
Yeah, and I'd really like to see if Van Heerden's going to follow that up and enter into the legs with a takedown. Rod did really well to cover up, but again, it would be great to see him turn off the centre line and not back straight up.
Van Heerden just believes he's more of a complete mixed martial artist in all areas. So it's off to a good start compared to last time, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I think we still definitely saw this in the first fight. A lot of the feeling out process. And there's
that left hook that lands.
And that's where Rod's dangerous. He needs to get inside, and when he does, that hook lands very heavily. And it was great to see him throwing a number of shots and not just one there.
If Van Heerden had a couple of flashbacks after that left hook landed by Costa. But he seems all right. Changing stances again.
But yeah, that's Van Heerden's done really well here, establishing that jab and then putting the right hand behind it. But for me, if Rod keeps marching forward and coming forward, it's going to get tiring backing up constantly for Van Heerden.
Oh, look at that. Flying kick. That was a nice punch there by Van Heerden.
Yeah, he does have some great unorthodox striking techniques. But I think, he's very much still feeling out and getting his range in place, because we know how good Van Heerden's cardio is.
Oh, nice exchange by both fighters then. Van Heerden probably landed the better punch of the two.
But I'd really like to see Van Heerden coming forward. If you're backing up and letting Rod control the space like we have seen this round, that doesn't look favourably in the judges' eyes.
And then a very main event, Eternal 76.
Both look very fresh still.
Yeah, not blowing at all. And
Yeah.
that left hook by Costa to begin round two.
And I would like to see Van Heerden keep kicking those legs and then following up the punches. And then with Rod, if he can keep coming forward and close that distance and set up that big hook, he can have a lot of success.
Crowd on the edge of their seats here at HBF Stadium.
I'd love to see Rod throw a few feints, put a few feints, and then establish his jab. Because we know he's got a damaging punch, and he's controlling the space, but I'd like to see him sit behind his jab and then start throwing those legs.
Costa stalking Van Heerden.
Yeah, a great sign for Rod is he's seeing a lot of those leg kicks, and he's checking them well and moving the legs.
A few punches thrown there by Van Heerden, but nothing landing.
Yeah, I think so far, the biggest moment was either the shot or the stumble slip, whatever you'd like to call it.
Round one.
Yeah, from round one. Outside of that, we've seen a lot of, it's almost like a game of chess.
Oh, that's down. He's landed a great punch and he's out. Rod Costa is done, and Van Heerden retains his featherweight championship with a great punch on Rod Costa.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge has called a stop to this fight at 1 minute and 15 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner via TKO and still Eternal Featherweight Champion,